Of B'siyata Dishmaya, we're going to be learning today about Sudat Purim, the Purim Feast, and also drinking wine. B'ezrat Hashem, stay tuned. We're going to get to also how to throw up. It was a big topic that we were waiting for. So the proper intentions for if, God forbid, or B'ezrat Hashem, the situation arouses, you'll see after today's class, that you feel like you need to throw up any time in life, but especially on Purim, you'll know how to get through it. So let's get in. First things first, the Megillah. Right? The Megillah is the download of the Pnimiyut, right? And now we're trying to take all of that light that we downloaded by way of hearing the Megillah, all the fact that Hashem is hidden behind everything in the world and He's always there leading everything. And we want to bring it into actions, because everything that we learn and everything that we download, any light that we attain in life, we want to live it. We don't just we're not here to learn wisdom. We're here to live as here, to connect it to Hashem. So that's where the Purim Suda comes in. Right? After we received from Hashem in the reading of the Megillah, the great light of the revelation of His unification, our job now is to take this light and to feel it tangibly. A feeling that will take me to an action. Right? When we read the Megillah, the light comes in, right, from a place of intellect, that you understand, and you get to a point where you acquire the knowledge to see that it's the truth, that there's enod milvado, there's nothing besides Hashem. This light comes down to the heart and starts to illuminate the heart. Until that truth is felt in the emotions of the heart. Now, by having the Purim Suda, the light goes deeper. It's revealed in emotions, in actions, right? And practical emotions, like applied feelings that move your body, right? So there's two types of feelings that we have. There's two types of emotions, right? You have emotions that are in the heart, and they're felt strong, and you feel it really strong in your heart. But they stay only in your heart. They're not translated to actions. Then there's a different type of emotions, a different type of feelings, and they're feelings that lead to actions. You feel now emotions that they're pushing you. Like you feel it, that it's pushing you in a direction. It's pushing you to go out and to do something in action. For example, if you feel a love for someone, it's an internal feeling. It's important, it's deep. It doesn't bring you to actions necessarily. It's enough just to feel the emotion sometimes, right? If you ask a person, do you love this person? He's going to say, yeah, of course. What do you do with that love? Nothing. I feel great love for the person, but it's an emotion I feel. Sometimes you have an emotion though that I have to do something. For example, a person's in danger and you love them. The amount of love that you feel for that person, you run to go save him from whatever he's going to be going through. Or her, or whatever it is, right? The dog, or whatever it is, right? Like love can push a person to go above and beyond, and the whole entire body moves really strongly, right? So there's two different types of emotions. These kind of feelings can only be when a person has clear, like clarity in their head, right? A clear decision. I know it's in my consciousness so strong. Only then can a person act accordingly. When that emotion is connected to a very, very strong knowledge. Only then you can go do physical actions. When you feel certain Then your emotions can start to act and bring action into the world. For example, they say to a person, even if you say to a person, one of the tzaddikim, one of the gedolim walked into a room. Even if you don't see it, you'll know that he's in, right? You know that he's in the room. Whoever believes it, right? The person doesn't see. You're sitting here, you can't see the door right now, but one of the gedolim walks in, right? And someone says, hey, listen, there's a tzaddik just walked in here. You can't see it, right? A person who believes it, whoever has a low level of emunah of this beliefs, it goes in, okay, like a gadol walked in. Like I know something now about the room. The situation in the room changed. There's a gadol that walked into the room. Right? He doesn't like, okay, there's not, okay, and on a higher level, and a person on a higher level is going to be like excited, there's a gadol in the room, what? And he's going to even be a little bit shy. Since, right, if the person has a higher level of emunah, when you tell him there's a gadol that walks in the room, and he's gonna get so excited that he's gonna act as if he can already see him, right? He's gonna stand up from his chair just in the honor of whoever walked in, and he can't even see him yet. But someone told him there's a gadol, so then that knowledge is so connected. There's a tzaddik that just walked into the room. I have to stand up. Right? And he'll get up from his seat. When the emunah is strengthened, when the emunah is strong, it becomes a part of your reality. It's not just some idea in your heart or in your intellect, right? When a person lives the reality of Hashem with tangible emunah, then you feel that, so to say, you mamash see Hashem. Until you go and you do actions that express that reality that you feel in your heart and you know in your head. This is the work of the Suda. To deal with, to go deeper and to drill in that recognition and the feeling of the truth of the unification of Hashem. That we received by reading the Megillah, until we feel it as a complete reality. Mamash nachush, really you feel it tangibly. That there's no reality and existence at all to the creation, and only Hashem is here. Right? This is obviously a madriga that it's nearly, some rabbis will say, is an isur, it's a prohibition to live throughout your whole life. But when you're in a hard time, right, or when you're in a day like Purim where the light is so strong, this is where you have to be holding. That there is nothing but Hashem, right? So our life is an up and down and in and out of this reality of there's a world and I'm part of a world that I have to do actions, and the fact that there's no world at all, it's all Hashem, right? But on Purim, obviously, we have to try to go as high as possible into this, right? Until from this, we'll go out and we'll do actions that they express this reality. And we'll get up to dance, to sing or to cry, to long for Hashem or to be happy. And just to explain what is getting up and dancing. Dancing and clapping your hands. It's when your internal neshama arouses and feels so strongly until you want to get up and you want to express it out in action, and the person arouses and gets up to start dancing. The internal aspect of rikud of dancing is that a person feels that his movements in his dance, they are a godly shefa, a godly power coming that is being influenced through him. Right? It's a saying that we have in Am Yisrael, that in every single movement, there you will find the master of the world, Alufo Shel Olam, the king of the world, right? By way of this, then now you're going to have more of a burning of happiness and trust in Hashem. right? And you're going to be nullified to it more. And then the idea of longing and being happy, right? These are agasha ma'asit, a feeling that leads to action, that's rooted in netzach and hod. Okay? The legs. After this, we should ask a question. If the whole idea of Purim is netzach, why only after the Megillah do we start to deal with emotions that lead to actions? Right? The whole entire idea of Purim is netzach, which is emotions that lead to actions. The Megillah is no actions, right? And then only after that we start to do things. The answer is, in general, Hashem on Purim reveals an immense light. This causes us immense clarity in our emunah and a lot of more comprehension of godliness. And with this clarity, it causes that the emunah becomes now our natural reality, and it's simple by us. And everything in the world, then when we look at it, it's only with a look of emunah, and we look at the internal part of everything all the time. And by way of this clear light, we rectify netzach. And we're able to be tenacious and to do the will of Hashem with strength, without any fear, without any embarrassment, without any shame, because it's so clear to us the truth. And the people of the world, they're the ones that are blind. So too, all of our actions and all of our tenacity and all of our oz dekdusha and our tatzumot, all of our power and our brazenness and to serve Hashem, it's without any ego at all. But we recognize that everything's by way of the power of Hashem. And this is the general light of Purim. Omnam b'pratiyut, but in more finer detail, gam zeh koreh b'shlavim. This also happens in different parts. In the beginning, you have the Megillah, that the light comes down into us and it is absorbed internally, alone, just internally. Even though it's not brought out in actions externally, it's called the light of Netzach. It's because it's a light that's so strong and it's so clear that it goes into the ideas, the finer ideals of the world, until the bottom of every single idea. That light of Netzach, because it's so strong, it will also cause actions. And afterwards, in the rest of the mitzvot of the day, right, the light comes down into the chitzoniyut, into the external parts, and it's revealed in actuality, externally, with emotions that lead to actions, right? And ma'asim mamash, you really go out and you have to do. You have to go give gifts. You have to act. You have to put in work on Purim, right? And then we get to eating. We get to this unification specifically by way of eating and drinking. Food, eating, has the ability to connect the emunah, the mitziut achi gashmit mamashit, to the most physical, real course experience, food, right? Connect my emunah, which is above all worlds, to food, which is the most physical thing that I have to do throughout my day. To take the light and to take the knowledge into a feeling that's so live, so vital, that it causes and it brings out actions. What is the general principle of eating? At the time when you come to eat and to drink, to feel when I come to eat and when I come to take a l'chaim, to feel that all of the pleasure and the benefit, the physical benefit of the food or the drink, and all of the vitality and the vitamins and the feeling that I get from it, that all of that is only pleasure that's coming from the light and the godly vitality that's in garmented, like enclosed inside the food that I'm eating. Meaning, contemplate that this physical thing that I see with my eyes, right? You take the cup and you look, this physical thing, right, that I see with my eyes, It's just an envelope. It's a garment, right? For the godly light that's inside. And the godly light, that is the true pleasure. That's truly what I'm trying to connect to. Then when you start to feel the pleasure, the taste, the texture, and all the joy that comes out of it with your physical senses, translate it in your thought to what they really are. Right? It is godly, spiritual pleasure of clinging to the Creator, blessed be He. The power of holy eating is very, very, very great. That you can get to a point by way of contemplating on Hashem when you're eating, to an illumination of the divine will. It's the feeling, the immense feeling so strong in the reality of Hashem, that from such immense pleasure in the light of Hashem, a person is going to be burning with emotion and longing. He's going to scream out and sing to Hashem Yitbarach. This is true for all eating. Even more so on eating on Purim. The powers of evil have no cling to the meal of Purim. Like the Magid here at Tzfat, right? You connected Tzfat right now, right? Like the Magid said to the Maran Bet Yosef, if you walk into the galleries, you go down the steps, right? You have there on the right the cave where the Magid in Maran Bet Yosef, the Shulchan Aruch, right? Rav Yosef Karo, he used to have a room there, and he had a certain level of Ruach HaKodesh that he would have an angel come to him and reveal to him different Sitra Torah. And one of them was that on Purim, the evil forces have no hold on the food of Purim, on the Suda meal. Obviously, you have to do it in Kedusha and make your brachas and everything, but right? Because the physicality of this eating, it doesn't conceal the godliness, the eating on Purim. It's holy eating. Because the eating itself is what's revealing godliness. Since there's such a godly revelation on this day, the food doesn't make me more physical. You can eat and you can drink without any hold of the negative forces. Everyone on Purim can get to a point to eating in a holy way. You will see God and you will eat and you will drink. It's a pasuk that we have. To merit to immense levels of dveikut. This is the main big work of the meal of Purim. That while you're eating and while you're drinking, you drill into your heart more and more the godly truth, more and more and more, until the light comes to emotions that want to cause actions, that they're going to push you to get up, to sing, to dance, to scream, to pray, to be immensely happy, right? A person wants to rectify their actions, that they should be aligned with the godly truth that they know. Everyone according to their level. Take upon yourself some kind of action-oriented resolution that comes from this recognition of the truth. That it will be a vessel for the whole entire year to take with you some of that immense light of Purim, right? You want to download the light of Purim for the whole entire year, for the next 355 years until you get to the next Purim, right? While you're eating and drinking and you're getting drunk and you're happy with Hashem, take upon yourself, I'm going to learn one halakha, I'm going to say 2 parak of Tehillim every day. An action that every single day you do. From taking it upon yourself, from such a point of clarity, it's the vessel that will help you take the light of Purim the whole entire year with you. Right? But when it comes to singing and dancing and all of this, right? There's a condition for this. First things first, you have to sanctify yourself. You have to separate yourself a little bit from physicality. Everyone according to where you're holding. We just talked about this outside. Maybe it's a good time, right? From Shabbat until it starts. Right? The order is that in the beginning, first things first, you have to subdue the physicality. From distancing yourself from bad. And you subdue yourself, right? Your ego and all of your lusts, all your desires. By way of this, you flip yourself to become now a vessel for the supernal light to come down. And by working hard to sanctify yourself, and now you ascend more spiritually. This is done on HaKippurim, on the day that is like Purim, right? Yom Kippur, the day that is like Purim. On Chanukah we do this again, and on Shovavim we do this again. And only after them, by Yom HaPurim, then only comes the day of Purim. The revelation of the sweet light of Hashem. Until the physicality is mamash, to see how Hashem reigns and his sovereignty is on all parts of life. And whoever doesn't do this, whoever doesn't sanctify themselves properly before Purim, from within your lusts you want to go into revealing godliness. You are risking now, a person that doesn't sanctify themselves, to fall into the physicality. You won't be able to go into physicality in a proper way, in a way that you're able to look only on the spirituality of it. God forbid a person can fall into a place where he stops keeping Shabbat. He lets everything loose. He starts to break halachot and Purim. He starts to do things that are completely against the Torah because of the way he drank. Right? So the idea is first sanctify yourself. Right? Therefore, before Purim, right, we have a fast day. We have Ta'anit Esther. It's part of the Inyan, right? Shu Yom Tzom. Uzman achna'ah v'tshuva. It's a day of subduing yourself, putting yourself down more physically, and making tshuva. Only after a person can sanctify the physicality and you start to purify your body, only then you can go to Purim and to reveal godliness in everything, which is the idea, right? And you have another nikudah here to see the pnimiyut of every single Jew. Right? In the mitzvah, the Suda, lechatchila, right? Lechatchila, to start, hi dafka b'mishpacha v'chabura. It's specifically with the mishpacha and with the chabura. Right? That's the chatchila of how you're meant to do your Purim Suda. Ki al yedei ha'or shel Purim, by way of the light of Purim, shebo mitgaleh ech be'emet hakol ze rak or Hashem yitbarach, that on the light of Purim is that everything is revealed, that it's only Hashem. Mitachdim kol ha'neshamot yachad, all of the souls unify, belev ohev, with a loving heart. Reshit, to begin, ki al yedei ha'or hazeh, by way of the light, the person understands that all of the weakened consciences that I have, and all of the different pains that a person goes through, that a person could even cause me, everything is just from Hashem. And you understand that I shouldn't be upset at my friend. He shouldn't ruin my day. It shouldn't take me back. Everything's from Hashem and it's all for good. And even deeper, by way of eating on Purim, the holiness, the sanctity of the eating of Purim, you have the light there to reveal the truth until you feel it as a complete reality. Then you can merit to go even higher and to feel that my friend is not his own reality. Really, he is a holy vessel for the light of Hashem Yitbarach. And you're going to see, you look at your friend and you're going to see right through him, Shu ben shel melech, that he's the son of a king, Ve'aben hu chelek me'aviv, and the son is a part of the father, right? On Purim, all of the physical garments, all of the physical concealments, they all lose their importance. Like a person doesn't, right, the clothing has its own importance. You give honor to the person who wears the clothing. So too is all of the physicality. It's not going to be in your eyes anything. Then you merit to feel that every single Jew is a piece of Hashem from up above. To love him with a full heart. Not looking at all at the physical barriers. That's the main idea for the eating and for the idea of the Suda. Now we have quite a bit of Torah to get through for drinking wine. Zat Hashem. Chaim Tovim Shalom. Zat Hashem. Well, the sparkly wine. Tov. Avodat Hashtiyah. What is the work of drinking? Bitul muchlat LaHashem. Complete bitul to Hashem. Amur Chazal. The rabbi said, Chayav inish lebesume befuria ad lo yadda ben aru haman levuch marudachai. Rabbi is right. A person has to be fragranced until ad lo yadda, until he doesn't know, between the cursed Haman, boo, and the blessed Mordechai, right? Yeah! The truth is, a matzav shel shichut, when a person's drunk, it's something that's very, very far from the ways of the Torah to be drunk. Very far. I have to say this. First things first. Right? It's not the way of the Torah to do shtut, to do stupid stuff, foolishness. There's even a bigger problem. There's a big blemish of getting drunk. A person, by way of getting drunk intentionally, removes himself from the obligation of having mitzvot and from recognition of Hashem Yitbarach. But on Purim you have an obligation and a mitzvah to get drunk. So we have to clarify what's going on here. On Purim the godly light is so strong, the light is coming down so hard, until the Jew feels tangibly the whole entire world is filled only with the honor of Hashem. There's no true reality besides him. Then you're allowed to go out of the boundaries, eh? You're allowed to lose it, as they say. So to say, to elevate yourself by way of the drinking, to elevate yourself to a place that's above time and place, above all and out of all of the limitations of this world, and all of the principles and all of the rules that there are, right? From such a clear feeling, right? On the true internal truth. Then there's no importance to it. It has no real reality for this world and everything that's going on in it, right? And this is the internal aspect of what it says in the Gemara, when there's a story in the Gemara, Kam Rabba v'shachte leRabbi Zera, right? Rabba got up and he shechted Rabbi Zera. Right? Shecht is to slaughter. Right? That's what's written in the Gemara. What really happened? This is a wonder if you just read the story. One rabbi got up, they were drinking during Purim, shechted the other rabbi, slaughtered him, right? Brought him back to life, and then invited him for next year's Purim. He says, not every day. Not every day is what's going on in the story, right? Amora Kadosh, a holy Amora, a holy rabbi from that time, Beshichuto, and his drunkenness, will kill his friend. So we have to explain this. From such an illumination of Purim, right? And from such godly comprehension of bitul, of nullification, Rabbi Zera revealed such light of bitul to Hashem on that Suda. ובגודל השתוקקות שהשתוקק רבי זרע. רבי זרע was longing for Hashem, burning to connect to Hashem so much, לצאת ולהיכלל בורא, to leave himself and to be included into the Creator. היה פשוט לו לרבא, it was simple for Rabba, his friend, שצריך לעזור לו, I have to help him. ושחט אותו, and he killed him. כדי לבטלו מהמציאות הגשמית לגמרי, to take him out of the physical reality completely. That's one inyan. Another inyan in the Mili de Bituchuta, a little joke, is right, Kam Rabba v'shachta leRabbi Zera. Rabba got up and he gave a shachta to Rabbi Zera. He gave a little hit to the J of Kitzu, right? So, אמנם בכל השנה, but the whole entire year, כיוון שהשם יתברך העמיד אותנו בתוך המציאות התחתונה. Since Hashem put us down here in this lower reality, right? So then the whole entire year, אסור לנו לבטל אותה. We're not allowed to nullify this reality, right? It's an Isur. One of the prohibitions of the Torah is to act as if this world doesn't exist. That you only godliness, everything is God. Everything is God, there's light there, right? But we're here. That's also God's will, is that we're here in this world, that we have to act and we have to do, right? So during the year, you're not allowed to get drunk. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to let loose and to go beyond the borders of time and space and to leave the vessels of this world. Why? Because that's where Hashem wants us. You have to live the truth in your thoughts and in your emotions. That's where you live the reality of there's nothing but God, everything is God, that person he just shouted at me, that person that just gave me money, it's all Hashem. In my heart, but a person comes and gives you money, helps you out, you have to say thank you. And if you don't say thank you, that's not Derech Eretz, right? That's not Hashem's will, that you say, oh, Hashem just sent me 600. No, that person gave you the money, say thank you to him, right? So, B'ezrat Hashem. Dainu, Vakara Pnimit, you have to live it internally like we just said, right? Person has to follow halacha, has to follow derech eretz, and you're not allowed to go against this because you understand internally that it's all Hashem, right? Right? Exactly what we just said. The depth is since we're in these garments of physicality, we're limited inside of them. We're not able to completely comprehend how this lower reality is completely nullified to the upper reality. Therefore, our behavior has to align with that. Also according to the external physicality, right, of the world. We have a portion in it. Hashem did this intentionally. His will is, by way of our actions, we will reveal externally the true internal reality. That there's nothing besides Hashem. Right? For example, when a Jew goes out and gives, right? When he goes, it's funny, I don't know. He gives money to his friend, right? So then he shows this. He shows that Hashem's running the world. He's not nullifying the world. He's dealing with something physical, with money. But his behavior, he's showing that he knows that the physical reality is just a garment. Internally, it's all from Hashem. Since Hashem taught us in the Torah that when you give up for others, when you let go, or you mivater, I don't know how to say it properly in English, but to settle,
Forgive.
Not to forgive. No, it's like you want something, your friend wants something, so you're like, okay, whatever you want. Yeah, exactly. You give over yourself for other. The Torah tells us you'll never lose when you do that. You'll never lose ever, right? So then my friend needs money, I'll give from what I have for him. I'm not. And any mitzvah a person does physically, he's revealing that you believe and you know that who is the real power, who is the real truth. It's Hashem, right? Therefore, I'm doing things physically according to that internal truth, but according to the physical rules of halacha and derech eretz and the way of behaving as I mentioned in this world, right? And whatever is going on anybody, illuminate to yourself all the time the light of Emunah and recognize that everything is just from Hashem and everything's for good. But on Purim, this light is so strong until it illuminates even the lowest places possible. It nullifies everything to Hashem. Therefore, in this time, we're able to feel ad hasof, go until the end, right? That everything is just the light of Hashem. Since you have such clarity in Hashem and you feel it, the whole entire creation in your eyes is nullified, and especially yourself and your ego. Then you're able to leave your physical reality and to get drunk. So there's a lot of work to getting drunk on Purim. It's not just show up to a Suda and start drinking wine, right? It starts days before, right? And if we prepare for Purim for 40 days, and it's like Purim, if we prepare for Yom Kippur for 40 days, and it's like Purim, right? So how much preparation do we have to be in to get to this level of nullification? Because that's what it is really. It's a level of bitul, right? So what is drinking? Now let's clarify. Is that the same? 2 pages and we're done. Right? We have to drink patiently. It's a long footnote. What does it mean to drink patiently? We're going to stop right there. 2 words and long footnote. It's a very important thing not to drink a lot at once for 3 reasons. First things first. Drinking too much hard liquor there's a danger in it. There's an actual physical danger. Therefore, if a person drinks progressively, right, like not all at once, then you start to feel what's happening to your body every sip you take, right? Then you can start to add more with being in touch with what's actually happening in your body, letting each cup actually get in there. Until you get to a point where you're actually drunk properly. And to a point where you're not going over the healthy boundary. Because you're feeling what's happening to your body. But if a person drinks fast, since you're drunk, you don't feel that you're drinking more than what you actually need. When a person generally goes to drink, it takes a little bit of time for the alcohol to have an effect on the body. That's the first reason. To drink a little bit, so that you can follow what's happening to your body as you drink. And you drink only what you need to get drunk and not more than that. Second, by way of drinking strong things and fast, a person gets drunk quickly, then you'll never be able to do all of the spiritual work we just spoke about. You'll never be conscious enough to start to work on these things because you went too fast, right? But when you drink slowly, then a person goes and he starts to enter the drunkenness from a place of dat, from a place of consciousness, and from a place of emotion, of feeling. Third reason, a person's going to pass out quickly if you drink too fast. You don't want to do that. There's a whole party. Therefore you should drink slowly, right? Therefore, throughout the whole entire day, you'll be able to sing and beg Hashem and to pray to Hashem, right? And to be happy, and the rest of the holy works that you have on this day. Only in the end of the day you'll pass out. That doesn't matter so much. Sleeping is also part of bitul. So it's good. You should sleep sometime on Purim. And according to the Rambam, a person that can't drink and needs to get to bitul, you should go to sleep, right? Because then when you're sleeping, you don't know the difference between Haman and Mordechai, right? So sleeping is okay on Purim, but try to have a fun day the whole day and do a lot of kedusha, a lot of avodah pnimit, a lot of internal work while physically getting drunk, And at the end of the day, you've drank the whole day progressively, a little bit, you spend your day drinking, you're going to pass out, right? So, Bezat Hashem, that was the footnote on 2 words. V'shat hashtiyah, when you're drinking, lachshov v'largish ineni mitbatel Hashem Yitbarach. When you're drinking, come from a place, I'm coming now, I'm nullifying myself to Hashem Yitbarach. I'm nullifying myself to Hashem. Asher oro memaleh et hakol, that His light is filling up everything. V'ani mochek et atzmi, I'm erasing myself, et adachli, in my consciousness and what I think I know. Ki ani lo rotze liyot davar nifrad la'atzmi. I don't want to be something separate to myself. I don't want to be separate from Hashem, blessed be. Hashem. And then by way of the help of Hashem, you're going to feel from a place of this drinking, and while you're drinking, you're thinking this, you're meditating with every single sip. You're being pulled and melted into the reality of Hashem and nullifying yourself completely towards Hashem, blessed be He, fully. While you're drinking the wine, I emphasize the wine, you drill this in more and more. I'm being nullified and included into my Father in heaven. Like a baby on his mother's breast. How good is it? How amazing do I feel right now? I see how this whole entire world, it's all lie, it's all vanity. Only the immense pleasure on Hashem is the truth. And this I'm taking with me the whole entire year. To be clinging and hugging Hashem the whole entire year. This is the true pleasure. Drinking. It's the longing to get out of darkness. The way to get to this bitul, it's by way of longing. That the creation longs to nullify himself and be included into the Creator. This is the intention you have to have in the beginning when you're coming to drink. I am trying to now, I'm longing to leave physical limitations. And mainly to go out of the reality of my ego and my pride, and the body and all of its lusts. And I want to merit to a godly revelation that's above the limitations. To feel and to tangibly feel and to see it completely, the internal aspect, that everything is just godliness. Everything is just from Hashem. Because when I come to drink, and a person wants to get drunk, you have to feel immense longing to the godly light, to long and to have a burning passion to really acquire the light and to receive it, and to live with it until the end. And then slowly you start to get drunk, and you leave your vessels, and you start to ascend above limitations, above the border of and so to say, you're sucked into the light of the Creator, blessed be He. And you're with Hashem and right next to Hashem, blessed be He. Without any ego separate from Hashem, any reality of myself separate from Hashem. You have to feel this all the time. When you're getting drunk and more drunk. And to feel how you're being nullified and melted into the godly light completely and being included into it more and more until you pass out. This is full bitul, right? That's the point that we're trying to get to. This is full bitul, right? A person, footnotes here, additions, and we're done, right? Whoever merits to deal with this holy work on Purim and to feel it, Be'ezrat Hashem, Tam Gan Eden, the taste of Gan Eden, the taste of the best place in the world. The sweetness and the pleasure of the nullification to Hashem on this level, it's not even really explainable, right? So just a few footnotes, and obviously the part that we've all been waiting for. B'ezrat Hashem, v'gam mi shenoeg lo lishtaker. Whoever has the minhag to not drink, whoever it is listening out there, Ari Sarab, Parash Time, right? Shout out. Ela yesh me'ad, right? But you should go to sleep a little bit. Like the Rama wrote, when a person goes to sleep, so when a person goes to take a nap, at least do all of this work. That I'm coming now to lay down, to nullify my reality, that there's a whole party outside, and there's this. I'm going now to lay down because this is a way to connect to Hashem in a place of nullification, that I completely go to a place that it's all Hashem. Right? Which is exactly what's happening when you go to sleep. Is that Hashem will get to be Darkecha and sleeping after Purim somehow. Right? But that's one thing. If you don't drink and you're going to go to take a nap, and that's how you're going to do the mitzvah, because you have to do the mitzvah of getting to that place where you don't know the difference, this is one of the ways to do it, is to take a nap and deal with these different thoughts when you're coming to take a nap. Tov. On Purim, it is found, and it happens in certain places, I don't know where, very rare occasion, right? But sometimes it is found that people throw up. Some places, I don't know. It's not a pleasant thing to throw up, to vomit. So we want to explain a little bit internally what's going on, what's the internal aspect of vomiting and throwing up. Right? There's a pasuk, it's a secret kavanah from the Kabbalah. The letter is chet, and then the letter bet, and then the letter vav. You have this in Amidah, if you want to look deeper, in the bracha of the shofar, in the kibbutz galiyot, it's all there. By way of understanding what throwing up is, it'll be easier for you to throw up if you ever have to do it. The whole entire creation exists only by way of the word of Hashem. Hashem is giving life and existence to everything. Like we know, there's no power, true power at all, for things that are against the will of Hashem. You have to understand, how do klipot, how do the husks, how do the garments have any power in this world? We see that they're doing things, that they seduce people, that they're tasty, that they smell good, they feel good, right? Wherever a person doing sins, the klipa starts to grab on to parts of vitality that belong to your soul. And they start to take life force from there. Sometimes they grab onto the neshama itself, and they take a part of it underneath their power, their domain. And then all of your mitzvot start to go to them. It's like a hole in the pipe, right? A leak. But it's not just a leak, it's a leak that goes over a plant. The plant is the most poisonous, disgusting, evil thing that's going to come and destroy everything that you have, right? And every time you go and do a mitzvah, you're feeding your worst enemy. When a person does a sin, God forbid, from a place of a thought, from a place of thinking that the klipa, that the nature has a good to itself by its own power, its own reality, its own good, separate from Hashem, you now cause that you're subduing the kedusha underneath the power of the klipa. The achayut and the life force, the vitality, that is only really coming from the supernal source. All that life force that's coming down from Hashem, pure at all given time, now is going and giving power to the reign of the klipa. And they show as if the beauty and the pleasure and the vitamins and the good and all the high and the drunk and everything is as if it's by them. It's in the bottle. It's the physical wine, right? They use these spiritual tools that are godly powers From there, they're able to give over a little bit of pleasure. But they make it presented as if it's their own power. The truth is, it's not theirs. It's a godly spark, a spiritual spark that they manage to grab into their domain. When a person understands that it's all a lie, and starts to return and to come back to Hashem, and leaves his bad actions, and you leave your bad actions, you're now declaring that everything that I was doing that was wrong is a lie and it's evil. Then by way of doing that, now by way of doing that, you take out of them everything that they sucked up from you. Everything that they took from you, all the life force that they've been feeding from you, the second you manage to break off your connection to that klipa and to remove your dependency on that thing, you are declaring by way of that everything is from Hashem and the klipa has no power at all, and you take now back everything that was taken from you by way of it. You're revealing their lie, their vanity. You're screaming out, Hashem hu Elohim. Hashem is the power, Hashem is nature, Hashem is the God, Hashem, everything is Hashem. Everything that I see with my eye, it's not their own power, it's only from Hashem. Specifically on Purim, that this truth is very, very revealed. This really subdues the klipa. It's revealed to everybody that there's no power in them. You're using everything of the klipa for kedusha on that day. The light of Hashem is so strong, so the klipa is getting attacked and being subdued a lot. Then they start to get weak, and they're forced to eject all of the sparks, or they're going to be nullified completely. And this is what you have to have intention when you come to vomit. Right now, I'm intending to take out of the klipa everything that they swallowed up from me because of my sins. And think strongly. So try to throw up not in the bathroom when you do this, right? Think strongly. Right? There's nothing in the klipa and all of my desires and all of my lusts. There's no true good in it at all. Only Hashem is the good. I regret going after what my eyes saw in this world. As if they have any power, God forbid. And I caused the shefa to fall into their power. And now I'm taking all of it back from them. Anytime you, right? Anytime you, I don't know what that, purge? What? Purge. No, like the gag or the gag or like the, right? Think that you're taking out of the klipa now everything by way of the power of tshuva. And from now I will know, all of the good, it's only from Hashem. Even the things of this world, I will only do in holiness, in sanctity. Why is vomiting such a bitter and hard thing to do? It's understood. Whenever you want to deal with klipa, you're dealing with bitterness. You want it to deal with klipa? Klipa comes together with bitterness. Right? You should feel when you go to throw up, how bad is it, how bitter is it to go after the Yetzer Hara? How bitter is it to follow this world and the evil inclination? Like the bitterness of tshuva, when it's done in the proper way, when you have that bitterness of tshuva in the healthy way, straight away the outcome is happiness, is joy. Right? So too when you throw up. After it's bitter for you, straight away you feel better when you throw up. Right? It's the same thing. You do tshuva, it sucks in the beginning. You have to, leave the thing that you enjoy so much, and you have to cry to Hashem, I'm sorry I did that. But if you do it quite quickly and properly, straight away after that, you should be in a natural state of simcha. person feels bitter and feels like nauseous and bitterness and they want to throw up, and the throwing up itself is bitter and disgusting, straight away after that, when it's done and your stomach is settled, you feel better. You feel better than you did before you threw up even, right? So that's the exact idea, B'ezrat Hashem. And last little bit, another internal part of drinking is bitachon. When a person goes intentionally into a point of getting drunk, right? In order to nullify your consciousness and your ability to even help yourself, right? Right? To be completely dependent on Hashem only, to the point that I'm so drunk that only Hashem can help me. I can't even help myself, right? Like a baby on his mother. It's from a place of recognition. It's from a recognition that gets stronger and stronger while I drink. My actions, they don't do anything in the world anyway. Hashem does everything. So Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach, from this, may we go into Purim ready to get completely shattered, right? Shattered in a point that all of the sparks of my neshama are returned back to the source, into the Borei Baruch Hu, into Hashem Yitbarach, and completely take immense pleasure in that simcha, that my eating is holy, my drinking is holy, and obviously you can never ever get to that point if you didn't do the preempts of the pre-introductions of working hard to sanctify yourself and to purify your body, to go away from some of your lust for a few days. If you drink regularly, try not to drink on Shabbat, take it easy. Shabbat Zachor, take it easy. And Sunday, take it easy. Monday's a fast day. Monday night, it's Purim already, right? And if you really want to go, the main mitzvah of getting drunk is in the day and not in the night. So save yourself so that your body, we're talking high alcohol levels, it takes a toll on your body. It has effect on your body. If you save yourself for the mitzvah, because the mitzvah is in the day when you're having a Suda. If you save yourself for the mitzvah, the whole entire experience is going to be much more spiritual. It's not going to be some kind of party that I'm going up to, let's go get drunk. No, let's go nullify ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How am I going to do that? I'm going to drink, right? But every single sip is bringing more bitul, more bitul, more bitul. And B'ezrat Hashem, all of that will lead to more actions, that you're going to look at your friend and you're going to see his neshama. You're going to see that he's a son of Hashem. You're going to see that you love him the deepest love possible. And you're going to give him gifts. And you're going to go give tzedakah to everybody who asks for it. And you're going to walk around the city and hop from Suda to Suda, getting higher and higher levels of bitul. To your friends, to the rabbanim that you see, to the poor people, to the kids that ask you for money, to every single person. Mainly with your family and your chabura, because the closer they are to you, the more you have a tikkun to be nice to them and to be more loving with them. B'ezrat Hashem, b'siyata dishmaya, Purim Sameach.